part 2 of episode 2 of Take Your Marks. Hope you enjoyed the one-on-one interview that I did recently with Andy McMillan, North Shore swim coach. We were very much focused on him having been an elite athlete and then that transition into the workforce. Well, we're going to continue the theme today, only catch up with an athlete who is on the cusp of selection for future Olympic and Commonwealth Games, an athlete who's incredibly dedicated. And part of the message that we want to tell today, or the story that we want to tell, is balancing life, school versus training. Her name's Brearna Crawford, and she joins us on the program. Welcome, Brianna.
Hi.
Of all the sports you can choose, why swimming?
It really started when I was, 8, and, you go through swim school, and, mum and dad put me in because, we live on an island. It's a life skill. And, I kind of said to mum, Mum, I don't want to stop swimming. And so she goes, okay. So, we started looking around for clubs, and, and that's when I came across Paul Kent's program. So Paul Kent, he's my coach. And, ever since I was a little 8-year-old kid, I've trained under his program and have been under his program till this very day.
And now, Paul Kent was a breaststroker, and you are primarily a breaststroker. I'm assuming that's your favourite stroke. Is that because of Paul, or did you just naturally fall into breaststroke?
I think it was something natural. I mean, we work on all strokes in our program. Paul's never really let us specialise into anything at all. So we keep it very iron-based. But I guess I just, naturally kind of lean towards breaststroke a little bit more than, some of the other strokes. But I just quite enjoy the holistic approach that, our program takes. But yeah, I think breaststroke's going to always have that special place in my heart.
I mean, I'm often asked what I think is the hardest sport, and I've been involved in a lot, but I always say swimming. I mean, you're basically an elite athlete almost from about the age of 11 or 12, sort of 11 sessions a week. Through the teenage years, particularly quite difficult. Have you ever struggled with burnout or thought about, why am I doing all of this?
No, to be honest, we've always been just encouraged to really enjoy it. And, it was, my parents have, never expected me to be the best. They've always just expected me to do my best. And, that's what I strive to do every time that, I get in the pool, or I go to race, or I go to the gym, or even at school. Throughout all aspects of, life, it's, making sure that you're doing everything that you can control as best as you can 100% of the time. And, that's been something that has been really important for me. So, I don't start thinking too far ahead, and, I don't turn up just to do the training and then get out of there. It's, I turn up because this is what I love to do. I turn up because I want to improve, and, you've got your little list of things that you need to work on. And so it's really, exciting, and to be able to, go in every day and chip away at those, the little 1%ers every day, they add up over time. So that's, something that's really exciting, to get that opportunity to go into training and, just do what you love, be in a great environment with your friends who are like-minded, with the same goals and aspirations as you. And it really creates something pretty special, to be able to be part of something like that.
How do you deal with the bad days? I mean, it's a tough regime. Often the harder you train, the more bad days you have until you sort of start fresh. How do you deal with the bad days?
I always remind myself of the why. There's a lot of whys to do it. Personally, I've definitely got goals that I'd like to achieve in the sport. But, the biggest why has always been for me is about how fast can I go and how am I going to do it? So, on the bad days when you might have got, less than 6 hours of sleep the night before, you might have had some kind of crisis happen, or, just a general bad day. I always remind myself of the why. And, it helps give me that piece of perspective that I guess, hasn't been at the forefront of my mind, and it brings it to the front, and it just makes everything a whole lot clearer that way for me. And I'm able to really think about, the processes that I need to go through in order to achieve that. So, yeah, always remind myself of the why on the bad days.
You're at Mount Albert Grammar School. Swimmers train incredibly hard. Do you sort of find yourself sort of dozing at about 9:30 in class?
To be honest, sometimes there are days when I'm pretty tired and I go, holy moly, I could really use a nap right now. But, it comes down again to the processes and following the processes as best as you can, and, making sure that you're doing all the little things right so that that doesn't happen. So making sure that, you're eating right and you're eating at the right times and the right foods, and making sure, you're getting enough rest. As I just said, sometimes it doesn't always happen, but you need to find a way to get around that. But not gonna lie, there are some days when I'm like, I just need a nap right now.
Do you find yourself in class and your friends are going, you smell of chlorine?
Yes.
Yeah. And look, I had limited experience in swimming, but I always know that when you get out of the pool, you're always really, really hungry. Do you sort of friends go, man, you eat a lot?
Sometimes they generally go, oh my goodness, how are you eating? How are you not eating, what we're eating? And it's like, wow, as I said, the certain goals that I've got in mind, those are some of the sacrifices that you have to make in order to achieve what you want to achieve. So at the end of the day, as I said, all the little 1%ers, they add up.
And what's been the highlight of your career so far?
I would definitely, in terms of meets that I've gone to.
Yeah, in terms of, your success at the elite level.
I would definitely say going to World Juniors was a pretty amazing experience to have. But also, a couple of the New Zealand short course meets that we've had as well, and a few open records on the way was, really special. I couldn't have done that by myself, without the team that I have around me. So Paul, my parents, my teammates, my trainers, all my friends. It doesn't happen without them. I know a lot of people think that swimming is an individual sport, and, yes, you're by yourself when you're in the water and you have to follow the plan to get the result that you want. But to be able to do that, you have all these people around you who are supporting you and lifting you up and helping you out, so that you can go and achieve what you want to achieve. So, without all of those people around me, I definitely wouldn't be where I am today, and I wouldn't have had the experiences and some of the amazing results that I've got without them.
And what's the long-term goal? Is it Tokyo Olympics? Is it 4 years from now, Commonwealth Games? What's the big goal?
I like all of it. So, we're definitely looking at Tokyo at the moment, and then definitely the Commonwealth Games, and of course 4 years time as well. So, we're pretty excited about it. As I said, we've got that little list that we're, checking off at the moment. So, it's really exciting to have something within your grasp, and especially during this year with all of the challenges and adversities that we've faced, and, competing a couple of weeks ago, and getting some good times, and it's a really good starting point to build off of, and Paul and I are just really excited to get back out there and do what we all love. So
50 and 100 metre butterfly Auckland record holder, tough stroke. Is there any thought in the long term of potentially sort of turning yourself into a medley swimmer?
Medley has always been something that we've done. Pretty much most meets I swim is is kind of built around the 200 IM. I didn't swim it at the last meet, but most meets is around 200 IM, and we kind of work on a lot of IM, which is really awesome. I quite enjoy taking that kind of approach to things, just so that something might not be going right in fly one day, and I'll be able to kind of switch over and take a mental break from that and then come back to it later. I just think that has really helped me kind of keep everything nice and balanced, so to speak, in the water. But no, IM is definitely one of my favorite events to swim. I quite enjoy the 100 in short course season, and the 200, and to be honest, the 400 is actually quite up there in terms of events that I like to swim as well. So it's a lot of fun.
I ask that because I guess the weakness for most medley swimmers is the breaststroke, but it's a strength of yours.
Yes, no, we're working on the backstroke leg of mine at the moment.
Now, there'll be a lot of young swimmers maybe watching this. How do you balance the academic side of your life? You're at Mount Abbott Grammar School. I mean, it is an important time in your life. training twice a day. You live a little bit out of Auckland.
Yeah. Look, it's definitely logistically sometimes interesting. But you know, as I said, like with what I was talking about earlier, to get, to achieve what you want to achieve, there has to be some kind of sacrifice, and, something that, pretty much my schedule is wake up, drive to training, have a great training, drive myself to school, be at school from kind of 8:45 to 3:10, and then, drive from there to the gym or the pool again and have another great training, and then drive all the way home again. So, sometimes, I'm not always able to go out with my friends or, go out on holidays on the weekend or something like that. And, that's a sacrifice that I've had to make, in order to succeed. So I would definitely say it's just having a fine line, between like your studying, your swimming, and, your kind of social life at the same time. I'm not saying don't have a social life. I'm just saying, you're going to have to sacrifice some time out of something to be able to succeed what you want to kind of succeed at. So I personally, I don't regret any of the choices that I've made so far, because, I'm really enjoying what I'm doing. But, the balance is different for everyone. And, it takes a little bit of time, I guess, to kind of find what that balance is for you. So, yeah, that's just kind of personally for me, how I look at things.
Wow. Go Brianna. Good luck. Future Olympic Games, future Commonwealth Games. You sense it's only a matter of time. What a wonderful ambassador for the sport of swimming. And we wish her all the best in that first Olympic qualification at the Auckland Championships in December. Well, I hope you've enjoyed part 2 of episode 2 of Take Your Marks. Look forward to having your company again in the month of December.